When that is the standard for your practice, the very moment you start working on that skill, you have already decided, okay, am I going to hit that standard or not? And if you can tell like, ooh, it doesn't feel as strong as I think it should, then you've already written off that day before the practice has even started. Welcome to the Mind Over Mental Block podcast. I am your host and mental performance coach, Mandy Patterson. I know the weight of mental blocks because I've battled them myself as a competitive athlete. From back handsprings I thought I'd never get to fools I needed to stay on scholarship, I know how frustrating it is to feel stuck. And as a mom of 3 and former coach, I also know how heartbreaking it is to watch it happen. This podcast is for cheerleaders and gymnasts ready to stop overthinking, face their fears, and believe in themselves again. For parents who want a trusted voice to guide their child so they can just cheer them on. And for coaches who strive to leave an impact that goes far beyond the mat. Whether you're listening together to or from practice or a big meet, or on those moments when you're just not quite sure what to say or do, this podcast, it's for you. It's the pep talk you want, the tough love you need, and the encouragement you've been waiting for. So hit subscribe and let's go. Hey, awesome athlete. I am so excited that you are here because today in this episode, we are talking about the real reasons why you are not seeing progress. So if you are going to the gym, you are working hard, you're putting in the reps, you're showing up every single day, every other day, multiple times a week, whatever that looks like for you, and you leave practice more times than not frustrated, defeated, feeling like no matter how hard you try, you are just not getting the results that you want, there is a reason for that. And we're going to talk about what that is because when you are going in and you're willing to work hard and you have a good plan, right? You have an idea for what you want to accomplish and that thing is not happening, especially if it's not happening as quick as you feel like it should, then you're going to lose motivation. You're going to be really frustrated and it's going to be hard for you to keep putting in the energy that you need to achieve the thing that you're really excited about achieving. So that's what we're going to talk about today. My goal for you is to walk away from this conversation more clear on what is happening, the different maybe buckets that you're falling into when it comes to the way that you are approaching your progress and the results that you want, and that you're going to be understanding which bucket you're in so you know what you're doing, you can catch yourself, and you can do something more helpful so that you see progress as soon as your very next practice, that you can see the progress and momentum that you're creating, and it makes you so excited to just keep going. So the first thing I want to do is I want to talk about that mental block struggle. Mental blocks are hard. They just are. They're frustrating, they're confusing, they don't make sense, especially because a lot of times they really don't have anything to do with getting hurt. There are athletes who have injury and they have mental blocks set in right after that. So for most of the athletes that we work with in our program that is specifically designed for mental blocks or overcoming mental blocks in cheerleading and gymnastics, 95% of our athletes have never had a serious injury. So their pressure comes from other sources. The reason why they're blocking, it is unknown for them. They walk into this program and they're like, I don't get it. I don't understand. It's frustrating. It's confusing. And they don't know what to do about it. And that is the hardest thing about trying to overcome a mental block is not knowing what's happening. So you don't know what to do about it. You're just trying a bunch of different things. It's a lot of trial and error, and it's hard to keep going. And sometimes it works out. Sometimes you go in and what you're doing, it's helpful. Whether you know what you're doing or not, it works. Sometimes it's helpful, and that absolutely can happen. But a lot of times what can happen too is that trial and error, that slog, it starts taking too long. And the athlete starts losing motivation. And it's not just that they're blocking on a back handspring or they're not just blocking on a round of handspring tuck. Now it's bled over into the round of handspring and they're standing back handspring, or they're running tuck and now it's the standing tuck and the back handspring. So it bleeds over into other skills. And then what you're going to notice is they're just not as excited. They just don't shine like they did on the mat. They're not as excited to compete. They used to love going to competition. And now it's just something they do. They don't have the joy. They don't have the energy that they used to. And then what can even happen is it might start showing up outside the mat. You might notice that they just don't seem like themselves when they're at home, especially after a practice. that they just seem distracted. They seem distant. They're just not as joyful. They're not having fun with their friends like they used to. And sometimes in school, things show up as well. So, mental blocks, they're so hard and they bleed over into other areas of their life and their sport. And a lot of the reason why that happens is because athletes don't understand what to do about them. They don't really have a clear, proven plan for overcoming them. And when they don't really have a clear plan, a proven plan that they can trust, and they go in and they don't see progress from day to day, they're just always hoping the thing will go away and things will be better. And so I want to share with you today the real reason why you're not seeing progress. There are three reasons or three buckets that athletes fall into that cause them not to see progress. So the first bucket is the bar is set too high. So every practice, the goal for the day is I'm going to throw my tuck. I'm going to throw my round of handspring. I'm going to hit everything in the routine perfectly. If that is the goal, and you notice when that thing doesn't happen, that you feel defeated, that you're frustrated when you leave practice, that you really have a hard time feeling confident in your day. You feel like it was a bad day when that thing didn't happen. That's actually not a goal, that's a standard. You have decided that today, for me to have a good day, this is what happens. This is the bar. So if I'm going to have a good day, these are the things that are going to happen. And I'm holding my hand out I mean, think about an uneven bar, right? There's a literal bar that says, if this thing doesn't happen, if I don't meet this expectation that I have, then it's just not going to be a good day. Nothing else is going to matter. When you set a bar that I have to throw my tumbling today, like that is the bar, especially if you're blocking on a skill, that is a bar and a goal and an expectation you don't have full control over. Because if you did, you would just be doing it. You would not be listening to this episode if you had full control over doing that skill by yourself completely, perfectly right now, right? So it's okay, but you don't have full control over it right now. So that means when you're walking in and your standard for the day is I'm going to throw my tuck, I'm going to throw my back handspring, I'm going to throw my full, I'm going to do my back walk over on beam, I'm going to do my flyaway, whatever it is. When that is the standard for your practice, the very moment you start working on that skill, you have already decided, okay, am I going to hit that standard or not? And if you can tell, like, ooh, it doesn't feel as strong as I think it should, then you've already written off that day before the practice has even started. You're going to lose momentum so easy. And that's going to be really hard for you to notice progress. So that is one reason. That is one bucket is your bar is set too high. If you are setting a bar for a skill where for you to feel like you had a good day, it's to do the whole skill by yourself perfectly, then you're setting yourself up for disappointment. So let's talk about the bar. So here's what happens when you have an expectation about this is the skill that has to happen today. This is the thing that has to happen for me to have a good day. What happens is when you fall short of that, you're going to throw everything away that you did. So it might maybe during a practice you did 1,000 things really really amazing, but you didn't do your flyaway by yourself. You didn't throw the tuck by yourself. You did amazing. You maybe did the strongest tucks you've ever done, the most powerful, but you're not even going to see it or be able to appreciate it because, but I didn't throw it by myself. When you have a standard and an expectation for the day, that is what you're saying is if I don't do this thing, nothing else matters. So your confidence will suffer and you're not going to see progress. And it's going to be really hard. The other thing, when you have a standard for how your day is supposed to go, when you meet that standard, it's not even really going to feel that exciting. You know this. If you've been working on overcoming a mental block or working on getting a new skill and you finally achieve that thing, it's like, yeah, you feel good, you feel excited, but it's almost more relief than anything. It's not excitement and joy, like true joy and pride. It's relief. Oh, great. Okay, so I proved it. Okay, like I've got it. And now there's the pressure to do it again. So you're not even really able to celebrate it because if it's a standard, that means that's what you're supposed to do. And if you're supposed to do something, then you don't really give yourself credit when you do it. So the confidence isn't going to be there. And you deserve to feel confident and proud when you work that hard. The other thing that happens with the bar is sometimes you're going to exceed the bar. You're going to do more than what you thought was possible for you that day. And then what's going to happen is you're not going to be excited about it. You're going to throw it away as luck. That's what happens. Because if you have a standard of this is how the day is going to go, and it ends up even better than that, you're like, whoa, that was kind of weird. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that again. It was probably just lucky. It was just a good day for just because it was just good, and you're not going to be that excited because you anticipated it. Nope, it was going to be this. This was my standard. Even when it's better than that, it still wasn't your standard. And so you're going to be like, well, that was just lucky, right? That is not sustainable. That's not what I want for you. That is actually completely opposite of building progress and confidence and all the things you need to achieve your skills really, really well. Okay. So that's the first bucket. So maybe that's you. So if you have a bar for this is what has to happen for me to have a good day, and you do that by saying, I have to do my tuck today. I have to throw it. I shouldn't be afraid to do it. I'm going to go for it 5 times. I'm going to land it 3 times in a row. All of those things, those are standards. And if there's pressure there when you think about those things, it's a standard and it's going to keep you from seeing progress. The second bucket, you've lost hope. You're not really sure you can overcome this thing. You're showing up, you're going through the motions, you're working hard. There's no bad intentions. You haven't given up. You're still showing up, you're still willing to work. But deep down, if someone forced you to say how you really feel deep down, you would probably admit, like, I don't think I've got it. I don't, it's not worth it. I don't think this is going to happen for me. You've kind of lost your hope. You've been stuck for a little too long. You're tired of being disappointed. You've just decided that it's not even worth trying to pursue this thing because it's too hard and it's not helpful for me. And so I'm just not really, I'm good. I'm okay. I'm going to keep working at it. But deep down, I don't think it's possible for me. And I know that's something, if you're hearing that and you feel it, like you feel it in your throat or your heart's racing a little bit right now, and you don't want to admit it, that's actually a really good thing. Okay. Because this is an opportunity for you to lean in and to get excited about what's possible for you. When athletes sign up to work with us, a lot of time in that initial intro coaching session, what can happen is I see it. We're talking about overcoming it. We're talking about their experience and what's been going on. And I share some things with them. And it is so cool for me to see that they have that little spark again for the first time in a long time. Like I can see it when an athlete is, they're not burnt out. Okay, but they've lost their hope and they're kind of good. They start seeing what's possible again and they start getting excited about getting out of this stuck place. They're not quite ready to get on the other side where it's like, oh, I can't wait until the day I'm throwing it by themselves. But they see that it's possible for them to get unstuck, that it could be easier and better, and they can start working on new skills again. And they get excited about that. And that is so cool for me to see. So maybe that's you. Maybe you've lost hope. So it's not that you're not trying, you just don't have your full energy to give. You've lost your motivation. And if you give yourself permission to start noticing progress and start integrating that, you're going to be amazed at how much more fun you're going to have. You're going to get excited about practice again. All right. And the third bucket that athletes fall into, the reason why that they don't see progress is because they're not integrating their wins. They're going into the gym and they are doing the reps, they're doing the skills, they're doing the drills, all the things. They are doing so many things, but they're just going through it. They're doing it because their coach tells them to do it. They do it because it's what they always do, because what else are they going to do, right? They just go in and they're just doing their thing. They are not being intentional with using their experiences in the gym to build up that belief in themselves, to build up their confidence, to notice, oh, wow, it's not just that I did 5 tucks on the tumble track. It's that I jumped so strong and pushed through my toes so well that I was able to get my body to flip over. That is so cool. I am so strong. That's amazing, right? Or maybe they're leaving practice, they're like, "Oh, it was okay. It was a good day." It's like, "Okay, well, what happened? What did you work on? What did you do?" It's like, "Well, I went for 10 round off handspring tucks. I didn't do them, but I went for them." And like, "Oh, wow. How did you go for them?" "Well, I just thought about running hard and I took a step and I ran and went for it and it happened." It's like, that's amazing. So you know how to go for those skills. So you know how to focus your body and your attention on what you're doing to make that skill happen successfully. It's like, well, yeah, I guess. Right. So it's like getting them to take a second and notice. You're not just doing a tuck because your coach was standing there, or you're not just running for a pass because that's what cheerleaders do. It's because you're strong, you're capable, you're amazing. You've got really strong legs, you're powerful. You know how to keep your body safe. Your arms are so strong that you can keep your head off the ground, right? So, noticing all of those pieces and things you're doing really well in the gym and integrating that into your confidence. using that to build up momentum. It's like, yeah, maybe I'm not fully where I want to be yet, but I sure am doing a lot of really awesome things in the gym. That's so cool. If you're not paying attention to the ways that you're growing, you're going to stop caring. You're going to lose your motivation. You are not going to achieve the level of confidence and all of those amazing skills that you have dreamed of when you started. You're going to lose touch with that. And I don't want that to happen for you. I don't want you to get to the point where you are struggling with your confidence. You're dealing with mental blocks. And hopefully this never happens, but even you're burning out and you're considering quitting. I don't want you to do that because you're not giving yourself permission to celebrate along the way and see all the amazing things you're doing every single day. So, the three buckets again. So, three things you may be doing to cause you not to see progress. Number one, your bar is set too high, right? No expectations. Number two, you don't actually believe that you're going to overcome this, or you don't actually believe that you can do your skill by yourself. And number three, you're not integrating your wins. So, the really cool part is once you recognize which bucket you're falling into, maybe one, maybe all three, or maybe just a few. But once you recognize that, you can start catching yourself. And when you catch yourself, it is so powerful because you get to choose to do something different that's going to be way more helpful. I hope this was helpful. I will see you in the next episode. Your time is precious, so thanks for spending some of it with me today. I'm so excited to hear what mindset shifts, tips, or encouragement stood out most. Be sure to leave a comment and let me know. If you love this episode, hit subscribe so you never miss another. If you're ready for more support, check out our mental block support page for cheerleaders and gymnasts, mgpcoach.com/mental block health. I will link that in the show notes for you. There's also information there on how to book a free intro coaching session with my team. I'd love to stay connected. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook at Mandy Patterson Coaching for more inspiration and encouragement throughout the week. Remember, you are amazing, infinitely capable, and stronger than you think. I believe in you, and I'll see you next time.